Welcome back. Remember, you're watching WTV News Review, and in the first part, we've been discussing some of the stories that are making the headlines. Pope is coming to the country. That is November 25th. He will be here up to 27th, and 10,000 police officers have been deployed. Sorry, not police officers, but National Youth Service officers. So, Nelly, looking at security in the country, we have over 10,000 NYS, and I see in the counties we are having another sad story still on matter security. Maybe it's high time we need to put our house in order.
Very true. We see that in Mombasa, there are fears that more young people are joining terror groups, and this is really affecting their families. But also there's the twist of this story where you get to see that these young people are being abducted. And when you look at the story very well, it shows that they have been abducted by the police. A lot of investigation going on, a lot of torture happening. For instance, there's this lady who says her son was taken away, and he's actually 25 years old. Then he came back, and when they tried to ask him, when the media tried to ask him what happened, he remained tight-lipped. He did not want to talk about it, and you can clearly tell this is a young man who's been tortured a lot. But the whole concept of the whole story is that there is the fact that the young people are joining the terror groups.
Sure.
And if the police have information about where these people are, and then they're got from their homes, I think the force or the way it's done is what is affecting the families, because they're like, how do you just take our young guy, our young man, who's a father of two, and he just goes and disappears, and we can't tell what is happening.
I think there is a very thin line in terms of where do we draw the line between protecting the country and getting so extreme in terms of human rights and all that, because these disappearances, these mysterious disappearances, if I may call them like that, this is not the first time, especially in Mombasa County. That's a county that has for a very long time been struggling with radicalization and all that. So when you see someone disappear, then after maybe 2 or 3 months, the person is back again, you may want to exactly find out, wait a minute, where were you and what exactly were you doing? But on the same note, I think that's a window that also maybe some police officers are using to kind of, they are taking advantage of, because violation of human rights is not an excuse in terms of fighting terror and all that. So as you're saying, I think something should be done, and because the problem is every time we have human rights activists talking about that, people look at them like, that's your job. That's why you're a human rights activist. But these things are happening on the ground. And even I remember when the former police spokesperson, Masjid Mwinyi, was sacked, some of the issues that were raised, apart from corruption and all that, there was the issue of human rights. And it's during his tenure in office that we had quite a number of cases. You remember even that expose that was done by Al Jazeera.
Yes.
So I think in terms of human rights, the police officers should know they should not kind of violate, human rights in the name of fighting terror and all that.
And still on Mombasa, we get to see there's a lot of concern over the state of the ferry. I think this has been a problem that has been there for so long. And one of the main issues now they're mentioning is that even the engines are spewing smoke. You see,
that's disaster in waiting of some kind.
Yes, and you see these ferries, they carry thousands of people, hundreds of people.
You would not like to gamble with 1,000 lives and all that.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I say, right now the government, these are the things that should be concerned about.
That's why maybe we should take
the
money.
The money too, but...
Talking of money matters, let's now move from Mombasa County to central Kenya, Murang'a County. Now, closure of bars there spells doom for local economy. Murang'a County has been in the media fighting illicit brew and all that. So the latest is that now we have residents demanding reopening of some of the pubs closed by the government because economy is really biting hard. The government say there is cash crunch in the country, so you can imagine
a business
an individual now, if the government doesn't have money, so to speak. What about the common man?
Yes.
So the thing here is they feel that businesses have been closed. They are losing money and all that. So they are demanding reopening of some of these pubs. What do you think?
I think as a business person, it's always good to change tactic when it's not working out. And in this case, if you are in the, let me call it beverage business, there are so many other beverages you can sell. And in this case, in Murang'a, milk is a good business that you can really do.
In fact, you know, the governor is called Mwangi Wairia.
Exactly.
Because his background is empowering, you know, farmers, and he has been doing very well in the milk industry and all.
Yeah, so no one should sit down and wait for the government to open these outlets. Open it as a different business and continue making money. Stop talking about the country having issues with money. You do it. You be the first person to change your logos, your everything, and sell milk. In fact, milk will give you more options. You have yogurt. You can do any other dairy product. So I think they're the ones who are killing themselves right there.
There you have it. Nelly Milia saying that if beer is not selling, why don't you try milk? That's in Murang'a County, where we have closure of bars, spelling doom for local economy. And you can always tell us what you think concerning some of these stories that we are discussing here. And of course, now moving on to still in the counties.
Yes, we have Meru County, and it's on a very good note to hear that the state is promoting peace on volatile borders. And in this case, we're looking at Meru Isiolo. You know, there have been a lot of clashes going on, and we get to hear 10 people have died, 15 people have died, and things like that. So with the help of Samuel Kobia, the president's advisor on cohesion and conflict resolution, things are going to change now, because we're looking at having peace, having dialogue between the communities in the two borderlines. So I believe when such things are being done,
brighter days are yet to come.
Exactly.
I would agree with you, because, you know, I've always said, and this is something that was even said by, you know, the African icon, Madiba Mandela. He said one thing, that education is education is the greatest weapon that you can use to change the world. The other day we were discussing this story concerning the clashes in Meru, Isiolo border and all that. And I'm convinced that if we can have education, you know, people are empowered, we will stop having some of these stories. Because the main reason why one feels, you know, let's go to a certain village and raid is because, one, that person has stayed in that village as long as he can remember, no exposure, assuming that person has education. He could not be doing such things. Now we have some good news still from Meru. Polytechnics are getting new equipment. The county government is equipping 50 polytechnics to enable young people to get proper skills, education, and all that. So you can imagine now, at least polytechnics being there, people will be empowered as far as education is concerned. And seeing polytechnics gives me a good feeling, because for a very long time we've just been concentrating on elevating some of these polytechnics to universities. Then when you do that, you are just kind of minding those people that will make it to the university. What about a section? And sometimes even in the counties, those are the majority. Those people that will not manage to go to university, where do they go if you scrap off polytechnics? So I think empowering polytechnics in Meru County is going to, to help the county in terms of even eradicating some of those problems that that we are seeing here. So that's counties. I see DN2 there is
yeah, DN2. Well. There's always one thing that Philip Kitoto is very keen on. He always mentions about a thriving relationship is marked by honesty, selflessness, and responsibility, as well as a true honest commitment to one's partner. Okay. And it is very clear for him that once you're in a marriage setup, then the best thing that you can give to your partner is honesty, selflessness, and responsibility. He has a story here he's tackling on a man who cheated just 2 weeks after being together with his spouse.
You know, I even know of someone, and this is in fact someone that I know very well. It happened that someone cheated on the night of the honeymoon's eve after wedding. So
that's where people just get it wrong.
You know, these things about relationships, sometimes I even don't like talking so much about them.
But they're just as real. Because look at a situation where you've decided to get married. What is the reason you're getting married? You should always ask yourself, if you know your purpose of getting married, then you should get in if it's real. But if you're getting there for so many reasons. Getting money out of your spouse, you know, just getting babies because your spouse looks hot, you know, so many funny reasons. You will get the babies, but the reality is parenting.
Parenting.
You get
Now,
money.
Crazy Monday, indeed
Yeah.
it is. And talking about matters relationship, you can always get more information DN2 and those, of course, Crazy Monday on Standard. Now we're just almost coming to the end of our show, but not without looking at what's happening, you know, internationally. Now 9 people so far have been killed in bar attack as Burundi violence rages on. You know, Burundi is one country that has been on and off, meaning sometimes it looks stable, but then Nkurunziza, who is the president there, seems sometimes to kind of not be doing so well. So the latest is 9 people killed. And this brings me to the point of African leaders. What's our problem? Because, you know, Nkurunziza is one person that is still clinging on to power and all that. When did the rain start beating us?
You see, when you have weak leadership, selfish leaders, there's no way they'll ever protect their people. Even if you look at there's this concept I read, how the Jewish think of us. They think that blacks, all we know is to consume. We don't know how to preserve. We don't know how to reserve. And this is seen clearly by our leaders. How can leaders watch us kill each other? Yet you have the power to stop. But they use their power not to stop issues, but to enrich themselves. When several people, like 9 people, are killed, this should be a matter of what happened, you know.
What happened?
Yes,
getting to the
bottom of the issue. But now where we have leaders who are selfish and they don't care about the 1 inch down there, then how are we going to survive? And look at exactly, selfishness is what kills us as Africans.
Now we say, as a matter of fact, when the power of love shall overcome the love of power in this country, then Kenyans will know peace. The same case applies with Burundi. Now we come to the end of our show, but not without giving you the latest in terms of sports. English Premier League was on top gear during the weekend, and we had several matches being played. Chelsea was playing West Brom and Stoke City, sorry, and then at one point we had Arsenal playing Tottenham, and the end result is that Arsenal got a draw. It was a derby, and that was it, Nelly. I know Arsenal fans at one point would say the best team lost because, you know, a draw for them wasn't fair, as they say.
As they say,
but at the end of the day, the game ended in 1-1 draw. But here in the country, our Kenyan team, that is Harambee Stars, the coach, Bob Williamson, is having sleepless nights. We have a game on Friday, the World Cup qualifiers, Cape Verde. That's the next team we are facing. And to this end, we don't have players in the camp.
Wow.
They are not training. I mean, that's giving Bob Williamson sleepless nights. And so you can predict who will win on Friday. If people are not training, how do you expect to win without training? But anyway, it's not me to say, let's wait and see. Now, remember, you've been watching WTV News Review with Nelly, Millie and I, and basically trying to make sense of what's happening in the country, from Waiguru to matters business and the latest in terms of sports. Let's do this again tomorrow.